moving over to our OL Reign here, and we, with the Cunane and the president, it's not
I
the most fun thing, but
know.
we head over to a loss here with the Reign, which is never fun either. As the Reign began their regular season on the road at the defending champion Washington Spirit on May 1st, losing that game 1-2. Player of the game goalkeeper Fallon Tullis-Joyce. Fallon really keeping the team in it with an 8.2 rating, 10 saves, and 7 diving saves. This was a game that was frustrating. I mean, it's like Washington's the boogeyman for the Reign. I mean, I don't think they beat them last year. I think the 2 games that the Reign played the Spirit, they lost 1-0 in the summer, and then in the semifinal losing, I think it was the same 2-1 score. I don't know what it is. Losing Van der Yacht, Kajan, Rapinoe were not available for this game. Kajan and Van der Yacht were out with COVID protocol. Kajan posted that she's out of quarantine, so that's a good sign. But Rapinoe is still kind of building it up. And now I talk about Megan, and there's something crucial to talk about here. She is like an ace when it comes to penalty kicks. And really early on into this game, the Reign got a penalty kick. And I love Rose Lavelle. Don't get me wrong. She's great. I really love that she's on the team. And she scored in this game. But she had a penalty kick early on, and she kind of bombed it. So you kind of wonder. It was a funny tweet. It was like, what if this was all a plot to encourage Megan to come back sooner? I was like, I don't think so. But I mean, you look at you get a chance like that. You get a chance like a penalty kick. You have to bury it, especially against a team like Washington, who has so many dangerous players. 2 of them named Ashley Hatch and Ashley Sanchez, both scoring in this game. So it's frustrating, but also another frustrating thing is that the Reign have to play a second game in Washington in a few days, when a game they should have had at home. But I digress. You can't really dwell on this. You have to sit on it and look at it, because you have a Challenge Cup semifinal on the 4th against Washington in the same building against the same team. This time for a chance at some bonus money if you win this game and I think get into the final. There's more motivating factors, I think, than just one regular season game. So frustrating to look at.
Wondered, because of course before the season Rapinoe was rehabbing, doing what she had to do to get back to be able to play, but I hoped that we would see her out there. What do you think it's worse than we maybe know?
I can't put a surefire answer on that. I just know that they've talked about it, and it says, hey, we're not rushing her. We're letting her rehab at her time. I wonder what that means, when we might see Megan. I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. I wonder, if we start to get into maybe 2 weeks from now, I'd say maybe I would think about that, but I will definitely have to keep an eye. I know that it's been asked in like every press conference, what's Megan's update? They're like, oh, we're letting her come at her pace. What does that mean?
It's not really an update. It's just kind of the same.
Yes. So, heading over to injury news, like I mentioned, May 1st out for the season opener. Zani Kajan and Olivia Van der Yacht out with COVID. Megan Rapinoe out with that right calf as she continues to rehab it. So, not too much there. I already talked on that. In team-related news and organizational-related news, on the 28th, it was announced that Multicare Health has partnered with the team to be the back of the jersey sponsor, as you see on your screen now. The Reign announced that Multicare, a non-profit healthcare organization, has been caring for communities in Washington State since the founding of Tacoma's first hospital back in 1882, as the team's top back kit partner, marking their continued commitment to the club. As the team's new kit partner, the Multicare logo will occupy the top back of the Reign's official jerseys, as you see there, including all jerseys that are available to consumers from the Reign's online shop and at Lumen Field. So if you buy a jersey, you'll get Multicare on it. Yay! In recent years, the Reign and Multicare have come together to work on initiatives to promote the well-being of the Reign fans and the surrounding communities. In 2021, the Reign and Multicare teamed up to offer free COVID vaccinations for anyone 18 and older at OL Reign matches. The Reign also honored 5 Multicare healthcare workers through their efforts as OL Reign legends before the May 31st match against the Washington Spirit last season. So, I mean, some kit news in a way, some sponsorship, some partnership news there. Into some not so fun stuff. in terms of league news, on the 26th, it was announced that Houston Dash suspended their head coach and general manager James Clarkson amid harassment. A harassment investigation. The organization will review its current and historic complaints of discrimination, harassment, and abuse. The club received initial findings from a joint investigation by the NWSL and NWSL Players Association that begun last year. On the 27th, it was announced that Carly Lloyd will be rejoining the New Jersey, New York, Gotham as a minority owner 6 months after retiring from the sport. On April 29th, ex-U.S. Women's National Team player and Washington Husky goalkeeper Hope Solo entered inpatient alcohol treatment, requesting that her Hall of Fame induction gets pushed back to next year. So some difficult things around the league, and certainly we'll keep an eye, obviously, on the Dash investigation there. Looking ahead, the Reign now sit at a 0-win, 0-draw, 1-loss record in NWSL play, sitting at 6 in the league table. Looking ahead, as I mentioned, they play the Spirit on the road on May 4th in the Challenge Cup semifinal with a 5:00 p.m. Pacific time start. And then they come back. Well, if they lose that game on the 4th, then they will come home on May 8th versus Racing Louisville with a 3:00 start to begin their regular season at home. That's the regular season home opener. But if they win that game against the Spirit on Wednesday, then they get to host the Challenge Cup final here in Seattle on the 11th.
Okay.
So kind of that game on the 8th is kind of in the air.
Tentative, yeah.
Yes.